Today, we're diving into a mystery thousands of years old. Two ancient cities said to have been destroyed by fire from the sky. The biblical account is one of the most dramatic in all of Scripture. Sodom and Gomorrah consumed by burning sulfur. But is it just legend? Or is there real-world evidence that something catastrophic happened in this region? And why do modern reports of meteorites lighting up the night sky make this ancient story more relevant than ever? Stick with me, because we're heading to one of the most desolate and revealing places on Earth, the southeastern shores of the Dead Sea. Setting the scene. This region, remote, arid, and barren, is known in the Bible as the home of the cities of the plain. Abraham and Lot once walked here. According to Genesis 19, these cities were not only known for their wickedness, but were suddenly wiped out in a supernatural event. The text describes the moment vividly. Then the Lord rained down burning sulfur on Sodom and Gomorrah from the Lord out of the heavens. But what would burning sulfur even look like? Is there evidence to suggest a sudden fiery heavenly judgment that left two cities in ruins? It turns out archaeologists and geologists alike have found clues, right in the dust and ashes of this ancient land. Two key sites have drawn scholarly attention: Bab edh-Dhra and Numeira. Let's explore what they uncovered. Bab edh-Dhra, possible Sodom. Our first stop is Bab edh-Dhra, perched just above the eastern edge of the Dead Sea. Early excavations revealed something unusual, an intense layer of ash and carbonized debris lying just beneath the city's ruins. Inside this burn layer, fragments of collapsed homes, burned pottery, and contorted human bones, all pointing to a city that ended suddenly, violently, and with fire. Even more shocking is the adjacent cemetery, which stretches for hundreds of meters. Archaeologists estimate over 500,000 graves, making it one of the largest Bronze Age cemeteries in the region. And, incredibly, it was burned too. The grave pits, some still containing remains, show signs of heat exposure. Bones were warped and cracked from intense temperatures. Why would anyone burn a cemetery? That's the question archaeologists had to ask. And the most logical answer wasn't warfare, but a natural or even supernatural catastrophe. Numeira, the sister city. 8 miles south is Numeira, a smaller city but equally compelling. Here, the ruins tell a similar tale, a collapsed watchtower with several skeletons buried beneath it, as if crushed while trying to flee. The site is blanketed in charred debris, melted clay, and ash deposits several feet thick in some areas. Tools, homes, and bones lie side by side in a chaotic layer of destruction. Importantly, carbon dating and pottery typology confirm that Numeira was destroyed around the same time as Bab edh-Dhra. Dr. Walter Rast, a leading archaeologist on both sites, concluded that the simultaneous fire destruction was no coincidence. Though a secular researcher, he wrote that the city's fate may well reflect the biblical story of Sodom and Gomorrah. His findings helped revive academic interest in connecting archaeology with ancient texts. The mystery of the sulfur balls. One detail from Genesis continues to fascinate scholars and explorers alike: the idea of burning sulfur raining from the heavens. Across the region, white nodules, known as sulfur balls, have been found embedded in geologic formations. They're small, round, and still flammable. At the museum at the lowest place on Earth, you can see samples on display with clear burn marks. At first glance, these seem to fit the biblical description. However, geologists noted something interesting. Sulfur like this isn't stable in open-air conditions for long. Exposure to heat, rain, or wind would have destroyed them over time. So how did they survive? It turns out these balls were preserved underwater in areas once submerged by the Dead Sea. As the water recedes, those zones are now accessible to researchers. And what they're finding could offer physical proof of a fiery rain. Modern parallels. Meteor, strikes and airbursts, and now something truly thought-provoking. Recent events have renewed interest in fire from the sky. Just in the last few weeks, several meteor sightings, from the US to Spain to Jordan, have been captured on camera. Brilliant flashes, sonic booms and fireballs streaking through the atmosphere. These aren't science fiction, they're headlines. And it's not the first time. In 2013, a meteor exploded over Chelyabinsk, Russia, releasing more energy than 30 Hiroshima bombs. It injured over 1,000 people. No crater, no impact, just a massive airburst. Now imagine something like that over a dense Bronze Age city. An airburst would create a shockwave, intense heat, and raining debris, all without an actual meteor hitting the ground. It fits the biblical narrative astonishingly well. Fire falling from the sky, total destruction, no time to escape. Could this be how Sodom and Gomorrah fell? Two cities, two fiery ends. No sign of war, no attempts to rebuild, just abandonment and ash. Whether you approach the story as a person of faith, a student of history, or a curious skeptic, the evidence forces us to take a second look. Maybe Genesis wasn't just symbolic poetry. Maybe it was describing something real, something catastrophic, something that, until recently, we hadn't fully understood. And now, as meteor activity increases and new discoveries emerge from the Dead Sea Basin, we're reminded that the ancient world may not be so far removed from our own. Thanks for joining me on this deep dive into biblical archaeology and the mysteries of the ancient world. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like, share it with a friend, and don't forget to subscribe for more content like this. Drop a comment below. Do you think the fire that destroyed these cities came from the heavens or somewhere else? Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring the truth beneath the surface.